Good morning, friend. This is Veer Singh Rajput from Saraswati classes, Narol Jasoda Nagar, Aslali. Friends, today we are going to study chapter number 2 in statistics of 12th standard. Chapter name is Correlation Coefficient. Friends, this is a very important chapter because this chapter provide you 12 marks. These 12 marks are very much crucial for your board examinations, and you may know that state is the only subject which provide you a full chance to recover 100 marks in full. Friends, we are now going to discuss about how these 12 marks are to be asked in the examinations. You can see section A, B, C, D and F. In all these sections, they are to be asked in such a number. See, section A provide you 1 mark as MCQ. Section B is a theoretical kind of question which is of one of two sentence, that is also of 1 mark. Section C provide you 2 marks which is a question of small in size, and section D there is a 3 marks questions to be asked, and similarly question number section F, that is going to be provide you a 5 marks question. So friends, in this way these 12 marks are to be distributed and kind for your information, this is to be said that this is a very easy and very good chapter for you to score it up. But friends, before knowing about its method and anything else, we should know what is the definition of correlation coefficient. Friends, in simple words, if we say, then it can be said correlation means relation between two variables. Variables means what? Variables means it may be noted as x and y. In simple words, okay, fine. In statistical way, we can say that if there is any increase in one variable due to the increase of in other variable, or if there is any decrease in any variable due to the decrease of other variable, means there is a correlation between two variables. It is indicate that कि अगर सिंपली शब्दों में कहा जाए तो एक वेरिएबल में कुछ भी चेंज होता है तो उसका इफेक्ट डायरेक्टली दूसरे वेरिएबल पर पड़े, और दूसरे वेरिएबल में कोई इफेक्ट पड़ता है तो उसकी इफेक्ट पहले वेरिएबल पर पड़े, तो ये क्लैरिफाई करता है कि इन दोनों वेरिएबल्स के बीच में, जिन्हें हम एक्स और वाई कहते हैं, इन दोनों के बीच में कॉरेलेशन है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, we can give you example. We have two examples. See the first one. Population and growth of food. Now, how they are interconnected with each other, we have to explain in simple way that if the population grows, then definitely the growth of food, the demand of food also will grow. Similarly, petrol, diesel, how can we understand this? That as we increase our production of vehicles, definitely petrol and diesels are also to be increased in demand. This shows that there is a correlation between population and growth of food. Similarly, petrol, diesel and growth of production of vehicles. Right, friends? Now we are going to understand that what is the symbolic value of correlation. The correlation is denoted as R. R is a symbolic value. Small r is to be used. We have three values regarding R. R plus minus 1 or R is equal to 0. So first of all, R has always a value between minus 1 to प्लस 1. दिस इज टू बी अंडरस्टैंड कि कोई भी वैल्यू एक से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकती. ठीक है, तो ये आपको खास ध्यान रखना है. सपोज आपकी वैल्यू एक से ज़्यादा आती है प्लस में, तो दैट indicates that you have done a wrong calculations. So let's go further on. We are going to discuss about the plus minus values of R. If correlations comes in negative form, it is known as negative correlations, to be noted as r is equal to minus 1. Similarly, if correlation comes in the positive form, then it is treated as positive correlation, denoted as r plus r is equal to plus 1. And the third and final one, if a correlation comes in zero form, for example r is equal to 0, then the correlation between variable x and variable y treated as independent variable. Now independent correlation means that there is no relation between x and y. Now how can we define that? We can define this by that कि whether the population of India grows or whether the production of America grows, there is no correlation between both of these countries, because they both are different countries, so we cannot compare both of them with population and the growing production of other countries, right? Okay, now we are going to discuss about the methods of this chapter. We have three methods: Karl Pearson method, rank correlation method, and scatter diagram. Now what is Karl Pearson method? So we have three sections in Karl Pearson method. In rank correlation we have two methods, and scatter diagram, it is rarely to be asked in the examination, but we'll study it later on when we join direct classes then. Right now we are going to discuss the first and second method, which is Karl Pearson's and Karl Pearson, and what's the name of other one is Charles Spearman rank correlation method. How the formulas are here on. See the first method of Karl Pearson. It is to be divided in three sections. The first section is when observations are small, means less than 40, then we are going to use x by method. Now how to use this one? You have a formula regarding that. R is equal to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y under root n sigma y square minus sigma x ka whole square. Similarly on the other under root we'll do the same thing, but in the first we have seen n sigma x square. Similarly on other n sigma pi square. Here it is sigma x ka whole square, same here sigma y ka whole square. Now sigma x and sigma y that is given you on the upper side, the same values to be carried down and make the square of this value. This is the first method. So when we are going to use this one, when the observations of x and y are quite small. We have given a simple step that when x and y have a values less than 40, then we are going to use this one. Now it is on the next label. When observations are bigger or larger than 40, then or when x bar and y bar comes in decimal form, then we use UV method or sort method is applicable. Now what is the formula of this one is R is equal to n sigma UV minus sigma U into sigma V divided by under root n sigma U square minus sigma U ka whole square. Similarly on other root n sigma V square minus sigma V ka whole square. Now friends, we can see that there is a minor change between the first method and the second method. When and these two methods are applicable, the first question is defined, the first method is defined, then when observations are small, less than 40, at that time we'll use this method, but when the observations are quite big, the calculation becomes lengthy. At the same time we have another alternate to find this method, that is find out x bar and y bar. If they are comes in decimal form, then you have to apply sigma UV method. Now the question is, if someone asks me, sir, whether I do this method or whether I do this method, answer will be same na? Yes, answer will be same, but the problem is when you calculate with larger numbers, the calculations will grow large. You have a long calculation, it may be lengthy, and a minor mistake can lead you to a negative marking or zero marking. Much better you have to apply UV method when the observations are big, or your means x bar and y bar comes in decimal forms. Now, how to understand this formula? It is quite easy. How to understand? You can see here, sigma x, use sigma u. Wherever you see x, u. Wherever you see y, it is v. Similarly, sigma x to sigma u, sigma y to sigma v, and sigma x square, here it will be and sigma u square. जहाँ पर आपको x दिखता था वहाँ आप क्या लगा देंगे, u. Similarly on the other way, where it is sigma y square, where it is and sigma v square, sigma y का whole square, here it is sigma v का whole square. Now what is the formula of this one is u. How to find u? U is equal to xi minus a upon c, and v is equal to y minus b upon d. Now what is a? A is the smallest value of the given observations of x. Similarly, b is the smallest value of the given observation of y. Now we'll discuss the third method of Karl Pearson, that is when observations are big or small but the mean of both variables x and y comes in exact form, then this method is applicable. What is the formula of that? R is equal to sigma xi minus x bar in bracket close, in other brackets yi minus y bar, divide by under root sigma xi minus x bar का whole square, in other under root sigma yi minus y bar का whole square. Now the first method, Karl Pearson, in which we have 3 steps, which is to be applicable in different type of questions, we'll discuss later on. But the first, now it is second method, that is rank correlations. In rank correlation we have one formula, that is R is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n square minus 1, where R is equal to rank or correlation coefficient, sigma d square, d means difference. Difference of what? Difference of rank x and rank y. Alright friends, this is the basic concept of formulas. Now I'll come to you for the further calculations or further details on the next video. Till then, bye.